I grew up in the 1980s at the dawn of the personal computer era. From the moment I got my first 8-bit computer, I was hooked. But I saw technology more as a hobby than a career. My original plan was to be a cop. I wanted to fight bad guys. In fact, I started college as a criminal justice major. It wasn't until my sophomore year that I learned that I could major in information technology. Not until after I started my career in IT did I learn about information security, which was a relatively new field at that point. But I saw it as a perfect opportunity to marry my technical skills with my desire to fight bad guys. The rest is history. I've never grown tired of this profession. It changes too rapidly for anyone to grow bored with it. It's my desire to keep up with the frantic pace of change in this field that drives me to always keep learning. No 2 days are exactly alike, but I can construct a theoretical day from the most common ways I spend my time. From the beginning, as I eat breakfast, I walk through my calendar and create a list of objectives for the day. I probably spend some time on the phone with a prospective customer or an existing client sharing information about our security program and assuring them that we take our responsibility for safeguarding their data seriously. I'll probably spend some time talking to a candidate for a job opportunity at Paylocity, as we're constantly growing and adding world-class talent to our teams. I will likely spend some time in project meetings, as we have a number of critical risk reduction initiatives in flight at any given moment, and those initiatives need to stay on track. I will likely have at least one one-on-one meeting with a direct report or a skip-level meeting with an associate on one of my 3 teams, as I believe it's critical to stay in sync with the folks who are on the ground doing the real work and ensuring that they are getting the resources and the support they need to succeed. I'm probably going to meet with at least one leader of another department at Paylocity, as maintaining close relationships with my peers is critical for making sure cross-functional initiatives are properly coordinated. I try to set aside an hour a day to go work out in the company gym, as a healthy body is required to keep up with the frenetic pace of change at a fast-growth technology company. Finally, I try to set aside some time each day to think strategically about the information security program and my organization. Are we doing the right things, or do we need to change course? Of course, that is assuming that I don't have to quarterback a security incident, or address the board of directors, or lead a quarterly security summit, or chair an executive steering committee meeting, or speak at a security conference, or any number of things that make most of my days extraordinary. Well, I started my career at a Big 5 consulting firm. My first year on the job, I had a manager that suggested I should take the time and effort to study for and obtain at least one new professional certification each year. He suggested that I should pursue a designation that required mastery of a different body of knowledge each year, as this would lead to an expansion in both the breadth and the depth of my skill set. I found that he was right, so I made it a point to undertake that effort each year. Even after I left that firm, I just kept going, and I've never stopped. This is the 24th year of my career, and I possess 24 certifications in areas as broad as information security management, IT compliance, information privacy, fraud examination, IT audit, computer forensics, ethical hacking, business continuity planning, project management, cloud security, and process improvement. I plan to continue to master additional bodies of knowledge and obtain new certifications until the day I retire. That is, if I ever retire. The validation of hands-on skills, and what I mean by that is the perception that many certified individuals can pass an exam but cannot actually do the work. The cost and the logistical difficulty of taking proctored exams in physical test centers for candidates with limited means or who live in remote areas, and a lack of recognition of certifications by traditional educational institutions and many employers are all legitimate criticisms, I think, of many existing certification programs. I believe that all three of the efforts by certification bodies mentioned in your question directly address these criticisms and help in validating the importance of certification programs. I personally believe that certifications have value. Not only are they one of the few objective ways to demonstrate that a person has mastered a body of knowledge, but the fact that an individual has taken the initiative to do the work required to achieve that goal tells me a lot about their personal work ethic. I always question someone who says that they're an expert at something, but do not feel that they have to prove it by taking a test. After all, if they really are an expert, they should have no problem passing the certification exam, right? Well, I hope that this does not sound too snarky, but the financial industry quite literally is where the money is. For that reason, organizations in this industry are targeted more frequently than organizations in other industries by cyber thieves. The financial industry is also a component of the critical infrastructure of our country, so it's frequently targeted by nation-state actors. And finally, the financial industry is a symbol of capitalism itself, making a prime target for hacktivists. So the challenges are unique in both the variety of threat actors and the volume and the sophistication of the attacks that we experience. Well, like most organizations, we are searching for talent in a market where there is an acute shortage of cybersecurity professionals. Now, we've overcome our cybersecurity hiring challenge in two ways. First, we've made Paylocity a place that is attractive to cybersecurity professionals with a top-notch culture, flexible work arrangements, support for training and development, leading-edge technology, and opportunities for advancement. Secondly, we've increased the size of the talent pool by hiring non-conventional candidates, such as software developers and IT professionals who have a fantastic skill set and the interest and the passion to learn cybersecurity. We then train them. I also focus a lot of effort on the retention of great people once they join our team. If you keep great people, then you don't have to replace them. I'm proud to say that we've had 100% retention rate for the 22 cybersecurity professionals hired since I became CISO. Certifications are very important to job seekers and recruiters in the cybersecurity domain. In fact, I would challenge you to find a cybersecurity job description in which certifications are not requested or required. The reason for that, I think, is pretty straightforward. Regardless of whether you feel certifications are a good indicator of skill or not, they represent one of the few objective ways to determine whether or not a person that you do not know possesses mastery of a defined body of knowledge. Cybersecurity is a complex profession. There are many domains to master. It's next to impossible for interviewers to objectively determine whether or not a candidate is skilled in all of those domains for a handful of 45-minute conversations. It just isn't possible. Certification is really the only way to get a baseline feel for what somebody's skills are. I personally have held the Certified Ethical Hacker designation since September 13, 2004, so over 14 years now. It remains one of the most difficult certification exams I've ever taken, which is saying something when you hold 24 certifications. So I may be a little biased, but I think the CEH is held in high regard in the industry. I'm confident that it played a part in helping me land some of the roles I've had in my career. One of the teams I oversee at Paylocity is our application security team. Many of the penetration testers and the ethical hackers on that team hold the CEH designation. It's not a requirement for employment here, but I would definitely scrutinize the candidacy of an ethical hacker who does not possess that CEH designation.